was like a vampire. He came in and sucked the life out of us.
It was like watching an old friend bleed to death.
Does Virginia really want an outsourcer-in-chief in the White House? Romney's never stood up to China. All he's ever done is send them our jobs.
Well, that's just a sampling there of some ads supporting President Obama's re-election effort. Some of those negative ads potentially influencing a new Wall Street Journal poll that shows more people think President Obama is running a negative campaign than believe Mitt Romney is doing the same. When asked about the negativity, the president's top advisor, David Axelrod, said this.
Almost by a 2-to-1 margin, the respondents said the Obama campaign was running the more negative campaign than the Romney campaign.
Yeah, partly, Joe, that's because the Romney campaign and their friends in the super PAC world have just spent tens and tens of millions of dollars specifically on spots accusing Obama of running a negative campaign. So I'm not surprised to see those numbers jump a little.
So it's not your negative ads, it's their negative ads accusing you of being negative that has caused
I think that had an impact on the numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no doubt that we've been tough and we've raised questions that needed to be raised and frankly still haven't been answered about Governor Romney, about his tenure in business, about his tenure in Massachusetts. That's part of this process, Joe. You get scrutinized in this process.
Joining me now, Mark Hanna, who's a former aide to both the John Kerry and Barack Obama presidential campaigns and a political analyst, and Ben Ferguson, who is the founder of Icon Radio Network and the radio host of The Ben Ferguson Show. Hi, Mark. Hi, Ben.
Hey.
Hi.
So there you have David Axelrod saying it's not really so much that we have been negative, but that we have been portrayed as negative by the other side. Let me start with you on this, Mark, as the Democrat. Is that true?
Sure.
Is that fair?
No, there's enough blame to go around here. Look, there's no question whatsoever that this is a symptom of a larger problem of negativity in our political system that is run amok and rampant and frankly unprecedented. We wonder why fewer than 50% in some cases of people participate in presidential elections, and it's completely because of the negativity.
They're
now,
disgusted.
Axelrod, they're disgusted, and Axelrod wasn't completely wrong. He did say that the super PACs that were supporting Mitt Romney are the ones that are attacking Obama, and that's true. And there's
well,
like
they
I
all
said,
do.
there's enough blame to
The
go
super
around.
PACs on both sides are, very negative. But the campaigns are negative too, Ben, aren't they? I mean, they're both sides are very negative.
And I think,
go ahead.
But I think what you're saying now is, what are the things that Barack Obama can run on? He cannot run on the economy. He can't run on lowering the unemployment numbers. He can't even run on Obamacare because he knows it's unpopular. His campaign is in an awkward situation where the only thing they really have an option of doing is either you just defend all the time or you go negative and be offensive towards the other side
Ben,
and scare people the other candidate. That's the only option he has.
Go ahead, Mark.
Okay, are you going to weigh in on a topic about negativity by hurling a bunch of negative accusations against Obama? Look,
he's going to respond to that in the negative. Okay, wait, let me jump in with some numbers. Let me jump in with some numbers. According to the Associated Press, 57% of Obama's TV ads have been negative. 91% of the super PAC supporting him have been negative. So 57 from President Obama himself, 91% of his super PAC, negative ads. Three-quarters of his ad spending in the battleground states has been critical of Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney has also been negative, 67% negative from the Romney camp and 83% negative from his super PAC. But the point I think that Joe Scarborough was trying to get at in part, Mark, was this is the Hope and Change campaign. And, they want us to believe that they're not running a negative campaign, but the numbers show they are. They both are.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a trend that over the past 10, 20 years, campaigns have got consistently more and more negative. And there are consequences for this. In the same poll, the same Wall Street Journal poll that showed, these trends, it also showed that over 40% of respondents said that the more they learn about Mitt Romney and Barack Obama, the less they like both of them. So this is a problem for American trust in its elected leaders. And what are we to think? That both these guys, Mitt Romney and Barack Obama, are bad guys? No. When you think about it, these are both guys that love their country, regardless of whether you believe and agree with them or not. These are guys that love their country, wake up every day
Megyn,
trying to strengthen their country.
Go ahead.
And we're losing faith in our elected leaders because of these trends.
Sometimes telling the truth is not a fun thing. And if you have a tough economy and you've got high unemployment and you you have your core legislative issue you pass is not popular with the American people, it's really hard to run a campaign in a positive way because you can't say, here are my successes. This is what I've done for the last 3 years, so give me another 4 years. So there isn't a lot of options for Barack Obama. And if telling the truth on those numbers are the truth, it's going to be a bad campaign.
But let me ask you this, Ben. What do you make of David Axelrod coming out? Why not just be honest and say the second answer he gave Joe Scarborough, which is this is a tough campaign, and it's going to be some rough and tumble days for both sides, as opposed to the first answer, which is it's not so much that we've been negative, it's that Mitt Romney has had so many ads telling people we're negative that now people believe we've been on negative when we really haven't. When these stats that the AP cites show that they are negative. Of course they are. They both are negative.
Look, people run negative ads. If you're Axelrod, if you're David Axelrod, think about how awkward this is. You won the presidency on 2 words, hope and change, and it was a brilliant campaign. You didn't have to talk about serious issues. You talked about being this hopeful, loving, put your arm around you guy, going to put you back to work, everything's going to work out, and then they got the job and realized it's not that easy, and it hasn't done that well, and they've spent a lot of money trying to fix problems that aren't fixed yet. I'm not sure they really know what to do right now.
Go ahead, Mark.
Ben, you don't sound very positive right now. No, look, the problem is that
telling the truth is sometimes not fun.
You could tell this campaign was going to get really negative when Mitt Romney, before criticizing the president when the campaign started out, used to say things like, Barack Obama, for all I disagree with him, he's a nice guy, he's a good guy, he cares about the country a lot. You had right-wing talk radio hosts jump down his throat. You had people who were basically on the fringe element of the right wing of the Republican Party jumping down his throat. And you know what? Mitt Romney is above this. He is a classy guy, but because of the political process we have right now, he's degraded his rhetoric. He can't pay his president a compliment without getting.
Well, then I'll say this.
That's always the setup in politics. I always say whenever somebody begins a sentence with, "No offense, but," offense is sure to follow. Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah. This is the reality of politics. This is going to be an ugly election because it is 2 different people trying to explain how they're going to do things differently. And if Barack Obama wants to be above that, then I'd say lead by example. But the negative ads prove that their campaign is in a somewhat of a crisis mode because this is their option. This is what they're going to have to do and try to win and make Mitt Romney into this evil, scary guy that sends jobs overseas like you just saw with the steelworkers.
I don't know because they've been doing the negative ads for a while. We did a segment earlier this week on how they believe, according to the reports, the campaign believes that they are not that effective. The negative ads, at least on Bain Capital, are not working. And so we saw the president try to shift this week to something more positive, believing that might be more beneficial. So we'll see whether they continue in that direction. Mark, Ben, thank you both.
Thanks, Megyn.
Good to be here.